It's Thursday, March 15. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Finance Minister Audley has withdrawn the Financial Administration and Audit Compensation Negotiating Cycles Order of 2018. The order would have locked public sector workers into a 4-year wage negotiating cycle. Mr. Shaw made the announcement in his address to the House of Representatives yesterday.
Initiative, therefore, is no attempt at union busting. It is no attempt whatsoever at destroying the negotiation process. And as I said, there is an ample amount of precedent.
However, Opposition Labour and Welfare Pointman Horace Daly said the manner in which the cycle was presented on Wednesday after the budget debate was high-handed.
What you are asking for and the way in which you have done it is what the opposition is against. Nothing is wrong to call your workers and say to your workers, we want to get our economic program going and we ask you to come with us on board for a longer negotiating cycle. Nothing is wrong with that under special circumstances. But to come to the House and to announce and say as 4 years in the midst of negotiations, it is repugnant, it is high-handed, and it goes to the heart.
At the beginning of yesterday's sitting, a Minister of State with responsibility for the public service, Rudyard Spencer, staunchly defended the 4-year cycle, saying that the extension would facilitate better planning.
The current 2-year cycle, with 1 year already gone, does not allow for the government to do all the things that are necessary to address the union's requests and claims. Streamlining the cycle into a 4-year term would allow room for the government to complete talks with each group independently and allow better and deeper consideration to be paid to the issues of each group of workers.
The Jamaica Teachers Association, the Jamaica Police Federation and the Nurses Association of Jamaica have all rejected the wage offer of a 16% increase over 4 years. Director of Elections, Orette Fisher, has resigned. It's understood that Mr. Fisher submitted a letter to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica yesterday, advising of his decision to relinquish the post, effective today. The decision was unexpected, as the Commission and Fisher were awaiting a decision from the Supreme Court on the legality of his extended 1-year tenure. 45 cents of every dollar the government spends goes to wages for public sector workers. That's according to the International Monetary Fund resident representative for Jamaica, Dr. Constant Lunkeng Ngwana. He says that is triple the amount of the government spends on capital. His comment comes as the government is grappling with the testy public sector workers, including teachers who are demanding more than 16% wage increase it's offering over a 4-year period. In the meantime, the IMF Jamaica representative is urging the government to spend more on programs aimed at preventing crime. Mr. Lunkeng Ngwana was speaking yesterday at Victoria Mutual Wealth Management Post-Budget Forum 2018. The Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA, is back at the negotiating table after ending an emergency conciliation meeting with the Finance Ministry at the Ministry of Labour on Wednesday. The meeting was called in an effort to end industrial action by public sector teachers. Teachers have been off the job for 3 days to protest the government's proposed wage offer of a 16% increase over 4 years. The teachers are upset that the Finance Ministry is seeking to make retroactive payments this month, despite not reaching an agreement. The Police Federation is also set to continue talks with government officials to arrive at a wage agreement. Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Cecil McCullough, says there has been little to no progress since December, when rank-and-file members of the constabulary staged a mass sick-out. He says the government's offer of a 16% increase over 4 years is essentially a wage freeze. Sergeant McCullough says police also want to be paid overtime and for working on holidays. Meanwhile, the Police Federation chairman is suggesting that the government set aside the retroactive payments for last year, which Finance Minister Audley is insisting will be paid at the end of this month. The Federation has threatened to take the matter to court if the monies are paid before the contract negotiations are complete. Chairman of the Police Federation, Sergeant Cecil McCullough, says he will not comment on the appointment of Major General Anthony Anderson as the new police commissioner until he has more information on what other changes will accompany the appointment. Anderson is to serve his first day as commissioner on Monday, but Sergeant McCullough says there has been a lot of speculation about the changes at the JCF that the Major General Anderson will make. In regional news, ships sailing in the Caribbean have been told to steer clear of an underwater volcano after it started showing increased seismic activity. The volcano, called Kikum Jenny, is located 8 kilometers off Grenada. The government of Grenada has imposed a 5-kilometer exclusion zone around Kikum Jenny after the alert was raised to orange, which means an eruption could take place within 24 hours. Seismologists said there was no imminent danger to the region. Professor Richard Robertson of the West Indies Seismic Research Center in Trinidad said there was no indication that the increased seismic activity would generate a tsunami. But he warned marine operators to stay outside the exclusion zone, as an increase in gases could reduce the buoyancy of ships. The volcano is on the shipping route from St. Vincent to Grenada. In sports, Minister of Sport Olivia Grange opened the upgraded National Aquatic Centre at the National Stadium yesterday. The Aquatic Centre will be hosting this year's Carifta Swimming Championships. The minister commended the Sport Development Foundation, Independence Park Limited, and the Aquatic Sports Association of Jamaica, formerly the Amateur Swimming Association of Jamaica, for the work. Grange said the $27 million spent for improvement to the diving pool, installation of starting blocks and procurement of water polo equipment was an investment in the future of water sports in Jamaica. Cricketing controversial President Dave Cameron has reignited the gender debate in cricket, insisting again more men were needed in the game's development in order to facilitate the growth of the sport in the region. Attempting to clarify comments regarding the gender issue, which caused a furore last month, the Jamaican administrator told media in Trinidad that because, quote, boys learn from men, end quote, it was important to address the specific issue. Speaking following the launch of CWI's Chirpy's Classroom Adventure Academic Manual at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Trinidad, Cameron said, quote, of course we want female teachers at school, but that was not the issue. The issue is we need more men if we're going to grow the game of cricket, specifically for the male side, because boys learn from men, which is a specific issue, end quote. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.